This is the official documentation of the making of turducken. We start with a turkey, and then we start with a duck, and ultimately with a chicken. This documentary will be a Frank Lasorsa video of how to make a turducken. Okay, now let's review the necessary tools for making a turducken. Suggestion is to have a handy, flexible fillet knife, standard fillet knife, and most importantly, a very cold Heineken, very ice cold Heineken, to help the chef prepare his turducken. And there you go, that's your next tool. And then start with a young, fresh chicken. Start with the smallest bird first, and then work your way up to the biggest bird, which would be the turkey. After cleaning the turkey, the chicken, and taking out all the innards, turn your chicken over, back side up, and start your first cut right down the back, and then start separating one side and the other side slowly. As you can see, the incision started at the back, and then you work your way on one side, working closely to the bone and separating the thigh bone and the breast away from the rib cage. Once you work your way around the entire carcass, you take the carcass and discard the carcass. Great for chicken stock. The next step, as you can see, is to work the meat around the leg and thigh bone. That will be the next step. Same process with the duck. Here is your duck. Turn your duck backside up, and make a cut right down the middle, and then work on one side and then the other. And after deboning the entire duck, as you can see, take out the carcass intact, leaving behind all the duck meat with the skin still attached, trimming a lot of excess skin away from the duck, but keeping some of the skin still attached, as you can see here. And here's the duck. The duck is ready. Now we'll work on the turkey. And now we'll work on the turkey. Again, with the turkey, flip them over on its side, on the back, and as with the chicken and the duck, you slice down the middle, then work slowly against the bone, peeling back the meat and the skin, keeping as much meat intact as possible. When working around the leg bone, the thigh bone, cut the joint between the thigh bone and the main body of the turkey. Working very close to the bone, you peel back and work the meat away from the bone. Slowly, working around the oyster of the back of the turkey. As you can see, we're working our way inside the breast area. Once you work on one side of the turkey, you can see the action here, moving all the breast away from the breastbone, all the way down to the pelvic here. We'll work on the other side next, which is still intact, as you can see. Upon separating both sides of the breastbone, you can safely remove the entire carcass of the turkey, as you can see here. Cleanly removing it, keeping the entire turkey intact. Next step is to work around the thigh bone and the leg bone, removing the entire bone from inside the thigh, and then work your way into the leg bone, taking the entire leg bone and thigh bone. Later we will stuff with stuffing inside the leg. Once you work the bone out of the thigh and the leg bone, you can see here, you must cut the leg bone as close as possible to the end joint, which is right about here, keeping about 1 inch of the end joint, and use a special tool, a big scissor, to cut right there. Once you cut it, you can use the bones to make a good stock. With the stuffing, you go ahead and stuff the inside of the legs so that you now have a really good shape on your legs. Looks like you have bones in there, but it's really stuffing. You do both sides. Once you take all the bones out, stuff the legs with your stuffing all the way inside the cavity. After stuffing the legs, put one thin layer of stuffing inside the rest of the cavity, as you can see here, inside the turkey. On top of this first layer of stuffing, we will add the duck, and then another layer of stuffing, and then finally a layer of chicken, and then we'll close it up. Well, here is the final assembly of the 3 layers: turkey, duck, chicken. In between each layer you have the stuffing. Now we have to close the turkey up and sew the back together, and that will be a trick in itself. So let's see how that's done. With butcher's twine and a homemade needle, you're able to now sew the back of the turkey back so that it holds its shape, 1 stitch at a time. And this is a stitched back of a turkey. You can see the whole turkey stitched all the way down. And now you have a turkey that is ready for seasoning on the outside. I like to use Cajun rub spice, which is very good tasting for turkey and for turducken especially. Can't wait to eat this bird. The final showing of the turducken. As you can see, the turducken is almost ready to be served. It's still in the oven. The inside temperature of the turducken is still not quite 165 degrees. We will look for a much higher degree, around 165. As you can see, the turducken, it looks like a turkey, but there are no bones in the turducken, and it is quite tasty once you carve this bad boy out. So again, we'll take more videos as the documentary comes to a full completion.